Maybe we did, and we're also expecting them to speak here outside of the courthouse after the hearing as things wrap up, presumably today. Struck by several things, echoing what the judge had just said, what Tim was saying about this sort of cathartic feeling that these families and the Gonzalez family in particular must be having, and just really saying why I think a lot of people may be thinking in that courtroom, but really trying to get under his skin, using this opportunity to really say their feelings and thoughts about what they've had to go through for the last 2.5 years. Also very struck, and if I must say, by Maddie Mogen's father, a man who admitted to having addiction in his life, saying that his daughter is the one that saved him from addiction. It was an emotional moment, and that this is probably something, speaking in front of a group of people, something he's probably never done before. Finding the strength to do so in this moment really speaks to the powerfulness, how powerful this whole hearing is, and really this important moment in the lives of all these families to find some kind of closure. Did not hear one time anyone mention this defendant's name. No one said the words Brian Kohberger. In fact, the Gonzalez family saying from now on they will not be mentioning his name, saying, quote, they will be laughing at him on the way to the pen.
Yeah, Jake, and I mean, it struck me how much courage and bravery it took for each one of those people to get up today, specifically from those roommates, the surviving roommates who are hearing from the very first time. One was her friend read the statement, but Dylan Mortenson's statement where she was, clearly emotional, crying hysterically, talking about being 19 and being forever changed by this moment and having panic attacks and having this impact her life so deeply. She was, by the way, the one who saw presumably Kohberger in the mask in the house at the time. So the nightmares that she continues to have about that, but the fact that she was able to, be in the courtroom and address how she was impacted by these murders of her roommates and friends was just heartbreaking to hear. Do you think that we're going to... Go ahead, Jake.
Well, I was just going to also just say, sort of echo what you're saying as well, Meme, just when it comes to the roommates. The very first speaker was a friend of Bethany Funk. She was the one that first called 911. And it was interesting, in her statement, she expressed a lot of regret about not calling the police sooner and almost asking for forgiveness for not doing more. She used that opportunity to explain herself in a story about she had a toothache. She had called her father, she had who's a dentist, to tell her how much pain she was in. He said, take Advil and go back to bed. She always regretted that. And again, using this moment today to almost apologize to the family. She said nothing else could have been done, but she wanted to take that moment as well to sort of clear the air. It was a really emotional start, middle, and finish to this first section here, Mimi, of the speaking. In about a few minutes from now, they're going to return for the second portion of this hearing before the lunch break.
Yeah, we don't know, Jake, how many people will actually be speaking. We do know that Ethan Chapin's family has chosen not to be in the courtroom. We don't know, however, if they're going to be giving a statement and having someone read that on their behalf. They have said that they're happy with the plea agreement and they are looking for this moment to be of closure and they want to move on. But wow, I have to say with the Gonzalez family, they've always been very outspoken, but the anger and their just the strength of them fighting through this, the way people grieve through this kind of thing very differently and how they're processing this very differently. They clearly, when they spoke, it drew applause from the courtroom. We can't see, however, if Brian Kohberger's family members are there. NBC News reports that his mother is in the courtroom, so I'm curious to see, how she might be responding or reacting. We can't see her. We are seeing Kohberger's non-reaction to the statements being read. But do you know anything about that? About any other family members who might be in the courtroom?
Yeah, we don't have any reporting on whether Kohberger's parents are in the courtroom. We did not. I was looking at all doors here, along with our photojournalist. We did not see Kohberger's mother, although she has been very hidden from public view throughout this entire process, including during the plea hearing where she and her husband were in attendance. And to your point again, Mimi, about the Gonzalez family, it was almost as if the judge knew the sort of vitriol that was to come from the Gonzalez family. It appeared as if he was planning this first break right after the Gonzalez family to kind of give the court a moment to catch their breath and shift gears a bit by such powerful words from the mother, father, and older sister of Kaylee Gonzalez.
All right, Jake, we'll check back with you in just a little bit.